All right, never stop learning. Now, let's talk a little bit. I gave you a handout, coaches, that we're going to kind of follow in broad strokes, but the rationale why this is so important. So let's talk about the fundamentals of basketball just a little bit as we start. Why is it important? When you play for a coach, what you want to delve into as players is why everything. Why? Why are we doing this? What's the purpose behind that little detail that coach is giving you? Why do you think it's important for me to have good footwork when I'm shooting? Because good footwork is the most important part of shooting. Why? Why is it the most important part of shooting? Why do you think it is? Balance. It gives you balance. Gives you balance. Unless you have balance in shooting, can't be a good shooter. Can't be a good shooter. Okay, so you have balance. Footwork gives you balance. So the most important thing is footwork in shooting. That's a good example of that, of why that's important. Why is it important in the game of basketball? John Wooden gave us that reason. I already gave you that. Because proper and quick execution of the fundamentals is the key to basketball success. But I'll give you another reason that I believe. I believe, coaches, all of us think we've got control of the game. You think we're all power hungry and we have to control the game. Well, that's probably pretty true. We have a lot of that, in coaching. But I believe that almost 80%, I believe 75 to 80% of basketball playing is unplanned activity. 75 to 80% of basketball is unplanned activity. It isn't what coaches draw up all these plays, offensively and defensively. It's what happens during a basketball game. Now, how do you structure yourself for success in unplanned activity? You have to have fundamentals. If you don't have good basketball fundamentals, you can't be successful in any game that has unplanned activity. Basketball especially is a continuous motion game, up and down, offense and defense. You don't just stay on defense. You're not a football player that I'm a defensive specialist. I can really learn how to play defense. No, basketball, you got to play everything. And you got to play everything all the time in constant motion. And I can't stop you and say, oh, stop. You got to focus on this right now. No, the game goes on. Coaches can't control it as much as they think. You got to control it yourself. How do you do it? As a player and as a coach, unless you focus on fundamentals, you're not going to have long-term success at all. So, proper and quick execution of the fundamentals, and prepare them for unplanned activity. Prepare them for unplanned activity.